Gamers, I regret to inform you that with Halloween quick approaching, fucking air conditioning. With Halloween quick approaching, video games are scary now. And for once, I'm not talking about the creepy N-Gage, the spooky Ouya, the haunted Google Stadia. You hear that's dead now, by the way? I'm not even talking about that game where you go in a maze and then a picture of the Exorcist girl pops up. Ooh, she broke her back on that movie like she was diving into a foam pit at TwitchCon. No, vampire voices aside, this is serious. Imagine you're sitting in your home, safe you think, playing the newest video game, when you realize hours have passed and you haven't been enjoying any of it. You're just playing to earn something. This isn't a game at all. It's a wear job! And that's not as hard as it sounds! You open your mouth to complain, but what comes out reveals to the world that you're 30! I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that... The future of VR is here. That's right, the big Zuckaroo himself unveiled the new Meta headset, the Meta Quest Pro. It's a $1,500 next-gen headset that's got improvements over the Quest 2 just about everywhere. So why haven't you, the gamer, heard of it? Well, it's not really for you, the gamer. There was a little bit of gaming mentioned in the presentation, mostly stuff we've already seen in a trailer for an Iron Man game, but really, the focus here was more on augmented reality rather than straight up VR. Zuck the Tuck Fuckerberg walked us through a bunch of cool dystopian technology for the Blade Runner future he wants to create, where a virtual workplace can invade your home in a variety of innovative ways. There was also this unintentionally funny moment where this cold motherfucker says,
"It's the face, expressions, eye contact, slight motions that is most quintessentially human."
To Mark fucking Zuckerberg, who he then renders in 3D to make a bunch of expressions that the real one doesn't have. Absolutely savage. But let's be real. The most impressive improvement here is that avatars have legs now. Holy fuck.
Legs.
And if you don't, fear not, because your avatar can scream happily from their wheelchair. Look how much fun they're having. CD Projekt Red gave us the big red projected spread on what's coming in the future. Now keep in mind this is just text on color swatches for now, so let's try to keep it in your pants here, huh? First off, there's gonna be a new Witcher trilogy handled by Projekt Red themselves. You probably won't play as Geralt. If I had to guess, I'd say they're weighing options between Ciri or a good old-fashioned RPG create a character. Also, there are 2 spin-off games coming. The first is a ground-up remake of The Witcher 1 codenamed Canis Majoris. Okay, who's laughing? I know it's part of the vagina, but this is serious. Wait, no, the other one is called Serious. Never mind, you're good. And that's gonna be handled by Molasses Flood, the developers of notably serious game Human Fall Flat. Then there's the Cyberpunk DLC we talked about last time, and a full-blown Cyberpunk sequel codenamed Orion. And lastly, we got a totally new IP called Hadar, which is like a gaydar, but it helps keep track of freaking haters, man. Always harshen my buzz for real, for real. But the hills, they could not stay silent. And lo, were they ready to present. Silent Hill is getting 4 games and a movie. First up, there's a remake of Silent Hill 2 made by Bloober Team, more like Boober Team, who made The Medium, Blair Witch, and Layers of Fear. Then there's Silent Hill Townfall, made by Annapurna, more like Canasperma, who usually make kinda short, artsy indie game scope projects, but with higher than indie budgets, so this one could be interesting. Although, all we've seen of it so far is a Stranger Things Game Boy. Then we got Silent Hill F, written by Epic Dragon Hacksaw 69, a Silent Hill game set in 1960s Japan, where flowers grow so meanly that your face fall off. And there's Silent Hill Ascension, a game? I think either it's a game with live stream integration or a Twitch Plays Pokemon style live stream. Either way, they showed jack dick of it, but who knows, could be something. Then they announced a new Silent Hill movie, and these old dudes were like, "It won't suck this time. Pinky promise. Pinky." That's a lot of Silent Hill, so there should be something in there to enjoy for all you hill heads out there. Also, before you say it, yes, I am aware Pyramid Heads would have been better, but I'm already using that for people who sell Herbalife, and that's funnier to me, so I'm not changing it. That's the hill I die on. A loud one. You hillbillies can be silent. But from out of nowhere with a steel chair, Resident Evil was spreading it eagle for its own shameful presentation of filth. Mostly they just announced Resident Evil 8 stuff. We got to see more of that DLC thing, which as of this episode should be out. It includes a new story where you play as Rose, new Mercenaries characters, third-person mode, and are you ready for Resident Evil 8 on the Mac? No, that's why you're here, right? Okay. Resident Evil 4 Remake. We got to see it, like real gameplay and stuff, and yeah, it looks pretty good. It's big and actiony and corny, so the spirit of the game seems to be still alive despite the fact that this is a ground-up remake and is bound to be a little different. I've seen people saying Ashley looks like a substitute teacher now, but I think it's fine. This is a fucking outrage, though. Blatant disregard for the integrity of stupid, sexy video game outfits. I cannot in good conscience continue to appear in this game. Remove me this instant. There's also a Resident Evil multiplayer game called Resident Evil RE-verse, which... Hey, wait a minute. Didn't you guys already do this? Yeah, it was called Umbrella Corps, and everyone hated it. Why are you doing this again? Class of 09 just got an update that adds an ending tracker with lore, updated UI, and secrets for 100%ing the game. Now, if you've never heard of Class of 09, it may look like your standard anime visual novel, but it's,
What the fuck, you greasy bitch? You kinda need to get a fucking job!
I wouldn't be surprised if he burned down a convenience store.
Who gives a shit?
You fucking whore!
I'd rather play dead at a necrophilia convention.
A lot different. Also, I'm in it, like, actually this time. I'm not in the Model Train fan club, I just sponsored the Model Train fan club.
That's even worse!
And I'm at liberty to say there's gonna be even more happening with it coming up, so keep an eye out. I kinda joked about this in the intro, but Stadia is fucking dead. Now you can say a lot of bad things about Google Stadia. Go ahead, say them. I don't have anything to add. It was just a bad service, which got immediately undercut by Nvidia's slightly better service, where you could just play games that you already bought. But if you did buy into Stadia, then you get the last laugh, because Google is refunding you for all your Stadia game and hardware purchases, assuming you got them through Google and didn't buy your Stadia hookup at a store or something. This is an unprecedented move that'll probably cost Google like $400, so they're really taking a hit on this one. No, but actually, this is kind of cool. Usually when services go down, they just take all your purchases screaming down with them, so I still think that's worthy of praise, even if it is for a giant corporation. So anyway, Netflix saw Stadia crashing and burning and thought, yes, that's a great idea! We should do that! And is opening another studio to do that. Now, I should mention this isn't a separate service from Netflix, it's just an additional thing to make Netflix more appealing. So if you have Netflix anyway, you might as well try it and go, there's button lag and it kind of doesn't work. Like, it's playable, but something about it feels off, and then never do it again. What do you have to lose? Your dignity? Twitch is in trouble! Twibble? I kind of glazed over a few Twitch stories in the last few months, but things are not going well in the land of Bits and Bezos. So, a few months ago, Twitch released a statement where they basically said, hey, if you're a Twitch partner, you're allowed to stream on YouTube too, just not at the same time, which is a pretty cool move. Now that I'm a free agent, I've been streaming a lot more on my Lyle Rath YouTube channel, and I'm kind of liking it better, so I don't know if that was a good move on Twitch's part, but it was good for streamers. That said, it kind of reeked of a please don't leave us sort of desperation, which makes sense. At the time, a few high-profile streamers were signing deals with YouTube. Then, a few weeks later, they came out with another statement that basically said, hey, you know how we've been taking a 30% cut from our big streamers? Well, we're a team, right? So, it's 50% now, because we're such a team. Let me stop for a second. This doesn't affect like 99% of streamers. Only the biggest streamers on the platform had the 70-30 deal. Most streamers, it was already 50-50. Here's the problem with that. YouTube does 70-30 split by default for everybody, and this is double fucking stupid because Twitch's economy runs almost entirely off its top streamers. Take a guess for me. How many viewers do you think you need to be in the top 1% of Twitch streamers? Top 1%. Come on, take a guess. If you said 250, you're wrong, it's 26. 26 fucking viewers to be a Twitch 1%er. 95% of streams on Twitch have less than 5 viewers in them. In other words, their top streamers are pretty much the only people bringing revenue into Twitch. This is just speculation, but they probably could have put everybody at 65%, given a vast majority of their streamers a raise, and still come out taking more money in. Yeah, this is all PR bullshit, but it would have at least made the top talent seem like dicks for complaining. They've also been automatically running big blocks of ads on people's channels, which streamers and viewers both don't seem to be fans of. This is before the PR shit show that was TwitchCon, where Twitch and Lenovo paid streamers to do combat over a clearly unsafe foam pit that injured multiple people and broke someone's fucking back in 2 places. So not only does Twitch seem to be in trouble financially, I guess as much as a subsidiary of Amazon can be, but most people don't even seem to really like it even. And we're starting to see the platform actively buckle because it's not a cheap service to maintain. It doesn't make me happy to sit here saying shit like this, but I don't care either. I only value Twitch as a possible competitor to YouTube, and it's done a pretty shit job of that, if we're being honest. The Dead Space remake got a trailer, and it sure does look like Dead Space. This is definitely one of those things where I went, Dead Space doesn't need a remake. Didn't it just look like that? And then I looked up some gameplay of the original Dead Space, and I still kind of stand by that, but I guess it's looking a little crusty now. I don't know. We've had more pointless remakes in the last 5 minutes, I guess. Todd Howard interviewed himself about Starfield. In the interview, he really held his own feet to the fire and asked real biting questions that led him to reveal a trait system similar to Fallout New Vegas, where you can pick from a variety of things that benefit you in some ways and hurt you in others, which also have quests that can allow you to remove those traits, one of which is having parents. There's something you want to tell me, Todd? Then he went into how dialogue works, where you start with a certain number of points and spend them over the course of a conversation in order to persuade characters. Then he said your ship does have fuel, but it just determines the perimeter of how far you can fly. You don't burn through it and run out of it. Thanks, Todd. Very informative. Genuinely, I kind of prefer this to game trailers where it's just like a mess of disparate clips and then it goes, boom, this is the most dire thing to ever happen. Drama time! Bayonetta 3 has some hot drama! The original voice actress for Bayonetta has been replaced, and she's bringing the tea. Am I just saying that because she's British? Yes! According to her,
the final offer to do the whole game as a buyout, a flat rate, was $4,000 US.
And then she basically got caught just flat out lying, to which she clarified that it wasn't a lie. They were just 2 completely different stories that she conflated together and left out the most important details of. Oh, were you offered more than triple the number you said publicly for Bayonetta and then offered a second cameo role after you turned it down? Sorry, did you forget to mention that before or after you compared yourself to
nurses going to food banks to feed their children?
Or when you said,
I worried that I was going to be on the streets.
Or when you stay out of my territory, the new Bayonetta voice.
But she has no right to say she is the voice of Bayonetta. I created that voice. She has no right to sign merchandise.
And then quoted a scary Bible verse.
The rich man went to hell.
Now that we have the benefit of hindsight, can we admit that those initial videos fucking smelled weird? Like, it's such an insane lie by omission that they just come across as this premeditated, emotionally manipulative tightrope walk where she's trying to avoid directly saying she's talking about the role of Bayonetta while pretty much directly implying that she is. I genuinely wasn't even going to cover this since this thing happened. No, it didn't. Kind of ends up at a net zero. But I figured since the original post blew up so so hard, there's probably a lot of people that have only seen half of it. And not only has she not taken it down, but it's still her pinned tweet, so I think that that's still the intention. And don't get me wrong, there is absolutely a discussion to be had about fair pay in the industry, but this is bad foundation for it. Final Flappery 16 got a story trailer, and I'll be honest, I still don't know what the fuck it's about. In fact, I was more confident I knew what it was about before watching the trailer, but hey, there was a little bit of gameplay in there. Looks like they're refining the combat system from Final Fantasy Kevin Gets Pissed, which was kinda button mashy, but not bad.
Bullshit.
Sony announced their premium controller, the DualSense Edge. It comes with swappable back paddles and sticks. Why the fuck would you ever... whatever. Trigger stops, and a couple extra buttons on the front for swapping presets and adjusting volume settings and shit. If you absolutely gotta have a high-end controller for your PS5, I mean, it's an option, but it's $200. If you want this as a PC controller or something, there are probably better, cheaper things out there. Now I know you're excited for Smurfs Cart. We all are. But they also announced a new Need for Speed. Now, I ain't no Need for Speed speed neater, but I gotta say, the style choices going on here are fucking cool. I mean, it's no Smurfs cart, but what is? I'll tell you what is. This is, you fucking Philistines! Smurfs cart is a work of Smurfs art that you couldn't even begin to comprehend! Anyway, here are the game releases for the month. I'm Lyle Rath, and this has been Pregame Discharge. Come back at the end of every month to get gaming news shot into your very holes.